And we're live. Apparently I am live. Wasn't expecting that. I just clicked start streaming and apparently we've gone live. Let's consider this dead air for now while I inform people that we're evidently live. And we'll be transcribing some Alan Hinds stuff in a second. I'm really unprepared. I've not turned my amp on, got a guitar or anything. Not that we really need a guitar for this. Actually, use my telly just because that's what I tend to use when I'm in the house. So yeah, everybody, you're going to need to excuse the method, the lack of planning on this. I'm new to this myself, this method of streaming, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun. If anybody is out there, please do drop a comment in the chat box. Hopefully I'll be able to see that. I'm just going to share this in a few places just so I can see how that works. So let's share that. Yeah, so we're going to be transcribing some of this Alan Hinds stuff. In fact, let me plug the guys at Guitar Breakdown. They put out fantastic products. I've had my hands on some of their stuff before, including the Alan Hinds Part 1 package. Alan is a fantastic player. His playing really speaks for itself. So allow me to, I'm just going to hit play on this just while I share this stream information in a few more places. Just so you can hear Alan's playing, get an idea of the package that Guitar Breakdown are putting together. And yeah, then we'll get going. So it sounds like this. So phenomenal playing, as you'd expect. So killer playing, as you'd expect. Killer to say the least. As I say, Alan, one of the absolute best. We have our first comment, and it just says, "Hey, hey." Cool. Let me get my guitar on. I'm just going to warm up a bit. Not that I normally need to in order to do this sort of work. Shut my studio door. One of the fun parts about transcribing, I guess, is deciding which random guitar I'm going to use. And I like doing stuff like this, actually, because in this particular package, this Alan Hinds package for GuitarBreakdown.com, I don't really need a guitar at all, to be honest, because there's good, high-quality video. But, you know, it's fun to... Let me check the levels on that, turn that down a hair. So that's just me on the telly. So I have this here for reference. And of course, if anybody does have any questions about this transcription, how I do these things, do let me know. So anyway, I'm going to get started on this. So how do I go about doing these things? Well, I'm working in Guitar Pro today, and we will use Electric Guitar Clean, obviously. We will call the job, let's just call it Guitar Breakdown, just for now, just so you all are aware of, think of it as product placement. Hit F7, get rid of the indentation. I don't like that indentation. And then from there, maybe I'll listen to a bit of the track and just put the tempo marking in. So as you can see, I'm working in Transcribe here, and along the top of my transcription, I've marked out all of the bars already, which allows me to, well, isolate what I need to work on. If I'm working on bar 1, just the first 2 beats, those markers are right in there, so I can really get to the crux of what it is I need to be working on. So that allows me to work more accurately. So I've marked out the file already. I would listen to the file now and just get the tempo. So, and I'll just tap along to that. So let's say 105 BPM. Reasonable speed. That's very smooth playing, as you'd expect. As I say, if you are on, please do drop me a comment. It really does help. And most importantly of all, if you are watching, please do share on Facebook. You sort of find this on social media, the more and more the guys that do a lot of active social media stuff, the more we work on this stuff, the more you realise that Facebook really does like to hamper the amount of views that YouTube content gets. They obviously want me to stream on Facebook, which I do a lot of, but I would like to be able to stream on YouTube as well and reach a different audience. So if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this video with people, it really does help. So let me crack on. Now we've got a lead-in bar and a crucis pickup bar, I guess you could call that. Let's play 70% speed. Now we don't really need the video here. Oh, I should also check tuning actually. Yeah, so he's the chord progression is the chicken. So he's in B flat. I guess I could indicate that in a key signature. Just put it in B flat. So the first phrase. So we have this nice and easy. That would be my pickup bar. Maybe we change the guitar so it's not a strat on the middle of the neck. Les Paul. All this silly attention to detail stuff. It doesn't really matter, but just take off some of the high end on there. The amp's got a bit more warmness than that, so I'll do. Shit like that obviously doesn't matter. So my process for transcription is vocalization. Your ultimate goal should always be to be able to hear and play whatever it is that you can sing, right? The reason I transcribe is so I can become a better improviser. I transcribe every day so I can become a better improviser. Yeah, so sorry, I just saw a comment pop up. So the goal is always to ultimately be better at that, being able to, when I'm improvising, anything I hear in my head, being able to play it, right? So to work on that, when I'm actually transcribing, what I like to do is I like to vocalize my phrases. You know, if it's a real study session. So I'd listen to that phrase and I'd go bo ba bo ba da 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 bo. And as long as I can vocalize the phrase, it's right in that silly range where if I sing it an octave too low, it doesn't sound good. If I sing it an octave too high, it doesn't sound good. But yeah, when I can conceive the line in my mind, what the phrase sounds like, then it's easier for me to work out how to play it and therefore how to write it down. Otherwise, you get too much of this listening to notes and trying to find a note. I think the important part to remember when you're transcribing something is that it's all context, right? It's about writing out the phrases that people are playing, and the phrase he plays is so. And we can write that if we go. I will put a rest in there. I don't know why. We've got that phrase, right? Cool. Let me just respond to some of these comments. So Ryan Simmons, hey man, hope I'm not too late to the party. Are you still keeping up the whole transcribing hours every day? Yes, man. I transcribe. Well, earlier today I did an entire Lick Library DVD, which you can see here. This is Danny Gill's blues, 12-bar blues for absolute beginners. Though you tell me if these phrases down here would be considered absolute beginners. That was good fun though. So I did that today, and I'm also working on this Pascal Plays Trenier, which is hard work. I am doing a lot of transcription every day, yeah. Sebastian Hall, hey Levi, you good man? I am good, thank you for the comment. I would be better when you share this stream, obviously. Bradley Baker, this is gold, so glad I tuned in. I'm glad that you tuned in too, man. Thank you for this. I couldn't do what I do for a living if it wasn't for you guys. Is there any way to sync transcribe with Guitar Pro 6? That's a really good question. Not that I've found. I've not really looked into it that much. What I tend to do is, well, once you get the tempo in correct, you can sort of go.
Melodic minor.
I've not really done enough yet. Yeah, there's no way to do that. Obviously, I'm still doing all the work, so let me just finish this phrase. That's phrase bar 2. So, in context. So we have this tie. You tie across the beat like that. And I think it's really important to understand standard notation, right? It's very important I have this tie between the beats here. I see some people, they'd write it like that, right? And that's just plain incorrect, because you look at beat 2 in the bar, that's not a beat long. That's 5/16 notes long. The correct way to notate that would be like so. What does he do there? Does he go up? He does, but he sort of fluffs the note. So let's annotate it like that. Now obviously there's a degree of interpretation and all this stuff, and the reason David at Guitar Breakdown has got me in doing this is because those guys, they put great packages together, and they're really they like attention to detail. I've been trying to offer my services to TrueFire because I love the products that they make, but I feel that they're often lacking in transcriptions. And I can say this as, let me demonstrate. That's where I find out my battery's dead. Oh no, I have 12% battery. So for anyone that just thinks, you know, he's just a hustler, open the TrueFire app on my iPad. It's loading. I go to My Courses. Oh, it's frozen on me. While that's loading, yeah. So these guys at Guitar Breakdown, they're really meticulous about their transcriptions. They like to transcribe absolutely everything, and therefore it takes a lot of time to put products together, and they're on a deadline, and they need help with this, getting it out on time. So I'm here to help with that. This is just my courses for TrueFire. So I've purchased quite a few courses for TrueFire. I like their stuff, but I find that often they're lacking in terms of the content that's transcribed. I'm very much of the opinion that, you know, the more you give your customers, the better. And Guitar Breakdown obviously agree with that. So, you know, again, thanks to those guys for the job. So we've got a phrase. Ba-da-da. Let me listen to it a few times just so I can don't make those mistakes. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bo-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da. I'll just check his fingering on that. So as long as I can sing it and all that good stuff, then I can notate it. There's a grace note slide there. See, this is where you meet some of the problems in transcriptions. I can hear this minute bend. But it looks like he slides. But you can't really hear a slide. It's a nice phrase. Where does he finger that? Oh, it does move down. So you got this. So this note is held across. He moves down. That note is staccato. And it's pull off. But then both of these top notes are picked. Does he move down or does he stretch? That's a nice phrase. Now is that all legato? That's a strange phrase. I'll just finish this bar and then I'll address any questions. Really check that, because you know, accuracy is important. It's actually the other way. It goes from 12 down to 11, and there's a sort of blues curl on that note. So there's some bars. Right, let me jump in. See any comments? Oh, we've got a few of them coming in. How much should a player spend transcribing a day when first starting? It's one of those things, man, as much as you can. I think it's important to remember that it's just as valuable and important a skill as you know, technique. Your ear is just an important part. You don't want to end up doing the you know, this, just round and round and round, and never really having any music with it. I like the fact that I can which is more, I'm tuning into what I want to hear rather than when my fingers just sort of go. No, who cares about that? Obviously it's important to be able to do that, but the point I'm getting at is transcribe as much as you can because it's developing your ear and you want to have a good ear. Adam, got it, thanks Levi, good. That's the best tip for improvising, sing hum. Yeah, yeah, man. And I knew that I should do that, but I've had the opportunity to sit down with Mike Stern a couple of times now, and that's how he practices. It's how he warms up. He's just singing everything he's playing, and it's not about the scat singing, because you don't see him do it on a gig. He doesn't put a microphone in front of his face and sing. His singing wasn't great when he was sat doing it, but the point was he was trying to play what he was singing, not trying to prove that he could sing what he plays. Yeah, there's a difference. He hopes to get the Vibe package. Yeah, I've not seen it yet. I don't know if it actually interests me all that much. But Richard, good to see you, man. Do you have any advice on matching rhythms? Now, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. For me, when I'm not trying to imitate what I'm hearing music and I'm seeing the rhythm because I've spent a lot of my time, a lot of my life sight reading, being a reader. And what comes from that is the more you read music, the more you are getting used to seeing something written down and then being able to hear what it would sound like. Now, if you do that long enough, you can do the reverse. If you hear a phrase, you can imagine what it's going to look like when you write it down, right? Now, same in language, right? If I write the word procrastination, I don't know why that was the first thing that popped into my head. If I write the word procrastination down, you read it, most importantly, as a whole. You don't read individual letters, right? You don't piece the letters together. You see the word as a whole. Oh, procrastination, okay. And it's the same when you hear the word procrastination and I ask you to write it down. I don't think you hear P-R-O-C, etc. P-R-O-C-R-A-S-T-I-O-N. I'm not good at spelling like that. It feels very weird. I know I could type the word, no problem. Yeah, so the goal shouldn't be that. The goal should be able to hear these phrases and see them as a whole. And that, like I say, in my opinion, that comes from reading a lot. I've done a lot of reading, obviously. So I'm going to do something controversial now and see how this pans out. Not controversial, I'm just seeing how this stream thing works. I've just had a button pop up that says play ad, so I'm going to do that and see what happens. I apologise if this ruins everything. Let's see what happens. I mean, I don't really know what that's done. It says bad video settings. So, yeah, no idea. Hopefully that didn't ruin everything for anyone. Yeah. So again, I'm just going to continue doing some transcribing now, and I will just remind you all, please do share this stream with people. Put it out on Facebook, put it out on Twitter, do whatever you like. Create a hashtag for me. nice phrase. It's just ascending up an E flat major triad, like an E flat 6. See, it's the inflections, it's the way he does these things that is cool. So he holds this note, bends it a semitone, and you've got this cool little slippery slide from 16 back down to 15. Pulls off to the 13th fret. Does he pull off? No, he picks that note. Great. I appreciate that you can't see what I'm doing now because my my webcam is over it, so let me move that for you. So rhythmic pace has changed a bit here. We've switched to a triplet fill. Tiny little bend on that note. Those little details are important, especially to the guys at Guitar Breakdown. If you've got any messages coming in, anything that people would like to say. I lost me. There we are. Okay. So we played this phrase. Now this is where you can get in detail or write things the way you'd like it. I'd rather see lazy written above the notes there because he just pulls back on the rhythm just a little bit. It's just a little bit late on those two notes to give it that laid back feel. Let's check the fingerings. What does he bend to? It's a semitone. Get a bit of triplet. He's such a sensitive player as well. You know, you could go through here very accurately and put dynamic markings in and mark that as mezzo piano or whatever. So it's the coolest little bit of vibrato on it. And there's a scuff in there. And it's accidental, obviously. hear that open G string. This file is going off to David to be formatted for Sibelius before release, obviously. So I don't mind putting something like that in there because it's accurate. There is an open G string that is played in there, sort of pulled off to. See here, he's slightly off with the rhythm. He's late on that first note, and there's a couple of ways you could write that. You could just want to hear somebody's playing. I don't like this, and this is one that's really up to David, and well, actually, the sort of thing that you should talk about with the client beforehand. Again, like I like that myself because I think it just makes everything a little bit more readable. So he slides down. Hits that 15th fret and it slow bends before hitting an F note on the high E string. Seems to be a lot of people discovering Alan at the minute. Loads of people on Facebook mentioning him. Good, I'm glad. Alan's like a phenomenal player. Like it's not just that he's got great technique, because he is like one of those absolutely monster technical players. He's just got such tone and touch. I think of Alan as playing gold top Les Paul and the SG that he's using in this video, and I've owned a gold top Les Paul and a 61 reissue SG, and both of them were to be, I just like subconsciously I just wanted to be like Alan Hinds. He's one of the greats, he really is. That'll be the phrase. Alan tends to pick notes twice, so there's my phrase. See, now we have almost a scuff. I don't know if he's going for that note, but the rhythm would imply it. Legato, obviously. If you aren't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Picking up subscribers on YouTube is a big deal for me. I've been not very active on the YouTube front, and I'd like to do more on the YouTube front. I need I need a reason to. I'd like this to build. Hopefully I can help people out in this crazy world of learning to play the guitar. Give you as much music business advice as I possibly can. So there's that. It's so quiet, some of these notes as well. You know, by the time he gets to that end note, it's really up for debate whether that note is even there. I'd even put it in brackets. So that's my phone vibrating. It's not even. That's a cool phrase. And from doing all of my transcribing, I can tell you that's a phrase that George Benson plays all the time. And I can't really think of any other players that do that a lot. Pat Metheny does it from time to time. So it's nice to hear Alan play it, whether it's a Benson influence or just a saxophone influence, which obviously George has enough of. Does he slide down on the first reading? Yeah, he does. And I guess this is the difference between transcribing and study. Like, I've taken 35 minutes to transcribe 8 bars of music. When I'm transcribing on my own, not for you guys, not entertaining, and I'm not learning what I'm doing, you know, this would have taken 5 minutes tops. But if you are wanting to study and learn how these guys are doing this sort of stuff, my legato isn't strong, not like Alan's. Alan's is super smooth. So yeah, let me just write that phrase down and I will answer your questions. So, Six Strings of Wonder asks, may I ask, how long have you studied guitar? Any specific diplomas you've obtained? Well, the term study is relative. I've played the guitar since I was 14. I'm now 27, so that would be 13 years. I've played the guitar for a long time. Yeah, maths adds up on that, yeah. 13 years, a long time. I've studied the guitar for maybe 10 years now. Really studied, been a student of the instrument. In terms of specific diplomas I've obtained, I hold a degree, a BMUS Bachelor of Music. I'm a Bachelor of Music with honours in popular music performance. I attained that from the Guitar Institute, and my degree was validated by the University of East London. So I do have a higher education qualification in music performance. I also hold a level 6 LSRL licentiate in music teaching. I studied music education and teaching, and well, the most important thing, ultimately none of these things matter, I hold a boatload of experience. I've been teaching professionally for a very long time now. I've been writing for a very long time. I'm just a serious student of music, you know. So hopefully that answers your question. Is that Mikey J139? How you go about finding the chords in busy songs like metalcore, for example? Good question. Probably a little bit better suited to a little bit better suited to a video on that very subject. To be honest, it's difficult to demonstrate in this particular tune. On metal tunes, I'm able to EQ things. I can, you know, if I was doing this Alan tune, and if for whatever reason I wanted to get rid of the hi-hats, I go, well, okay, the hi-hats are in the high register. Remove some of the bass. So obviously that doesn't really demonstrate the metalcore thing here, but yeah, there's that. The other important thing is you need to understand the style that you're transcribing. It's no good going to transcribe metalcore if you're unfamiliar with metalcore as a genre. Metalcore I'm familiar with, I grew up on it. Therefore I'm quite familiar with possible chords that are going to be played. It's the same with jazz. You know, if you don't know that a jazz player is likely to play if you don't know these voicings, maybe we play this. If you're not familiar with 13 flat 9 chords like that, you're going to struggle to hear them. So yeah, outside of that, it's a case again of singing. If I hear a chord voicing like that on a recording, I will just attempt to sing it. So I'm singing the fifth. I can hear the melody now. I picked this up from Mike Stern actually. So when he started transcribing, he was transcribing Joe Pass chord melody stuff, and he'd just start with the melody and just transcribe the melody line and skip everything else because his ear hadn't developed yet. But yeah, over time, once I get that, that's too my singing is just awful. And then I'm just playing these notes on the guitar against the chord and going, can I hear that? Is that note in the chord? With time, you don't really think about these things though. You just hear a chord and you go, I've heard that voicing before, and you just play it. So I'm going to stop before I continue embarrassing myself with my voice, which evidently isn't on point tonight. Guitar lesson Southampton. This is awesome. Will it be available when I'm done streaming? Yep. It should be on my channel. I'll work out. If it's not, I'll upload it. Guitar breakdown. Alan Hinds lesson package. Yep. Everyone should buy it. It's you know, there's so much to learn from Alan. He's just a great player. So yes. Crazy question. Would you recommend transcribing the bass lines first to get an outline for the song? Yeah, within reason. I mean, it depends what your goal is. You know, if your goal is to learn how to solo over something, then you need to have an idea of what the harmony is, what they're doing. Like when I listened to this track, I was like, oh, that's nice playing. And then after 8 bars, I was like, he's playing the chicken. I could just hear the chord progression because it's a chord progression that my ear tuned into. If you're unfamiliar with doing that sort of stuff, though, yeah, transcribe the bass part to get an idea of where the harmony is going to be going. If you're just transcribing just to copy what someone's doing and you're not really about learning and understanding why they're doing it, then maybe not. I think the important thing with transcribing is getting to the point immediately, or else you're going to get bored and go and do something else. So, Strings of Wonder, sweet. Thanks so much for answering. 13 years seems to be a relatively short time. It is, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, you know. And when I'm 60, it will still be a relatively short amount of time because I picked up the guitar later than I'd like to have, ideally. Yeah, but I think the important thing is I've been incredibly serious about it. Like, I'm just so serious about study. I love studying and just reading. You know, before I was on streaming for you guys, I was downstairs with the missus watching a film. And I say watching a film, I was working on my Travis picking on acoustic guitar. Only to come up here and do some weird fusion stuff. And when I stop streaming tonight, I'm going to work on my banjo playing, and then apply that to Jerry Reed banjo roll patterns on my nylon string. Like, I'm just always interested in studying something and learning something new. Absolutely my pleasure, my friend, for answering your questions. Please do share this stuff and subscribe. Subscribing is the important part. Like, if any of you out there are watching this and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. It really helps. Stefan asks, I found myself when transcribing completely forget music theory. Is that good? Yes, I think that's the best thing of all. You know, because when it comes to actually playing music, I don't want to think, right? If I go when I do something like that and I go off on a bit of a tangent like that, I'm just trying to hear phrases in my head and go, let me play that. Let's do that. And the theory is irrelevant. I'm allowing my ear to lead me where I feel that what I'm playing wants to go, if that makes sense. If I play... then my ear tells me... I'm playing fingerstyle just to, you know, keep myself on form, on point even, not shred too much. So yeah, let me finish. An important part of something like this when you're trying to learn is the correct articulation as well. So I'm checking. That's how he plays that line. That's how he articulates that line. We've got pick, hammer, pick, pick, hammer, pick, 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 and I would imagine the next note will be a slide. I was right. There's a very subtle vibrato on it. Get rid of the vibrato. See, he's a little bit early on this note, but I would notate it because I want my phrase to be readable. What do I do? It's not that, is it? It's that. And these would be staccato. He picks it twice. How it's held. That's that phrase. It's almost like he hits both notes there. Put that in brackets. I just realised that my camera won't be obscuring. He did it again. That's that phrase that I talked about earlier. Does he pull off or slide? It's a pull off. It's two pull offs. And the beauty of transcribing as often as I do is, you know, I didn't search for that melody. I went, and the moment I heard the next phrase, I heard it, and when I'm there, I just kind of know how to do that. And it's through endless transcribing and repetition. It's really, you know, it helps develop your ear no end, improves you. So double check that. See, I struggle a little bit on that. Well, struggle is the wrong word. So we'll finish that phrase and then I'll call it a day on transcribing fun. So if anyone does have any more questions they'd like to fire in, please do send them my way, and I will answer them in 2 seconds. This is awkward. He's actually doing that. There we go. You've kind of got like a muted 8th fret, 11 slide to 12, pull off to 8. Well, we won't come back to that. I will end my transcribing for you guys there, because obviously I'm not going to give away the transcription for this because it's been done for a client. But we will now just take a look at what we've got done thus far and see how things sound. So if we go back up to the top, I'll listen to the transcription. I'm going to change this to a section marker just so I don't lose where I am in the transcription. We'll go back to the beginning. We'll listen to the transcription, and then I'll listen to the audio file, transcription file. Sorry. Just to answer, did you listen to the solo several times before diving in? No, I didn't. I listened to it once and went, cool, that'll be fun. If your private student were to ask you which songs should I start to learn, son, it can't be answered, man. It totally depends on who the student is and what it is that they want to learn, what their goal is, what they want to do, you know, and where their ability is. To learn songs by ear, you know, that it depends on what their ability level is. If they're very new to using their ear, then I'd say learn, you know, Apache by the Shadows, because it's very simple and obvious and in your face. You know, I get students that come to me and they want to develop their ear and they just want to learn periphery songs. And it's like those two things don't go hand in hand. You can't learn a periphery tune by ear unless your ear is to a pretty good level, you know. So start easy. Right, so we've got this. Cool. My transcription sounds like this. and then let's try. I'll just double check the tempo marking. Five's about right. So I'll try and play my transcription along with him.
Of the melodic minor.
See, my tempo marking might be off by like 1 BPM, and so it will slip a little bit out of tune. But for the at time, but for the most part, that was solid. That sounded good. And again, when I'm transcribing, I don't usually go through and do this. It's just more for your entertainment, so you can see how that comes together and that works. So yes. Right. So if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to log off. Thank you for your time with me today. I've enjoyed having you here. I've enjoyed doing this bit of work for you, having you see it. I'm just seeing more comments. So it's Mikey J139. Yes, you are welcome, my friend. Thank you for your input. Everybody, you know, seriously, thank you for your input. It really does help to have activity. Otherwise, well, what am I doing this for? And there might not be hundreds of you online, but you know, who knows? If you've enjoyed this, share it with people. Tell people that this was fun, and I will come back and I will do something like this again. Regarding next time, the reason I've done this on YouTube now is because it's copyright. This track is owned by the client who I'm transcribing it for. Therefore, I can confidently use it on my YouTube channel and not get copyright strike. I don't want copyright strikes on my channels, on my YouTube channel. So I do actually do stuff like this on my Facebook channel because, well, you can't get me there. Oh yeah, Richard, definitely. Lots of Brett Garced in there, but he's his own player. Like, definitely phenomenal player. Well worth checking out. Yeah, so I'm obviously happy to do some Mad Guthrie stuff. I think it's important to remember, guys, that this is what I do for a living. Like, if there's anything out there, anything in the world, any crazy guitar piece that you've always dreamed of being able to play, but you don't know where to start, hit me up. I can provide that service for you. That's kind of what I do. So honestly, absolutely anything. If there's something you want, you do just let me know, and we'll get that done. We'll get that sorted. Because I like providing, and yeah. Anyway, so just to close things up, please do subscribe to me here on YouTube. You know my channel, you're at it. Also, give me a check on Facebook, my personal Facebook page. I'm just noticing that we've got bad video settings. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently keyframes are not being sent often enough, which will cause buffering. Hopefully nobody has had that issue, but I have got that warning a few times. Again, I just need to go into my the software with which I'm streaming with and toy around with some of the settings. But hopefully this comes out okay. So yeah, please do follow me on my YouTube page, my personal Facebook page, Levi Clay, my transcriptions page, Levi Clay Transcriptions. You can also follow me on Twitter, which is Levi Clay 88, my Instagram, which I believe is Levi Clay 88. All those good social media places. If you can think of it, chances are I probably have it. So follow me and, you know, do the thing. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to come and do this again for you sometime, because yeah, it's fun interacting with people. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you soon. Oh, how did I forget? Go and check out the Hellcat Molly album. Hellcat Molly's Out of the Ashes. I'm looking around for a CD. I know I've got one on the desk somewhere. That would be massively helpful if you went out and listened to / purchased a copy of my album. You can find it on Bandcamp, and there's a link to it on my website, etc. my heart and soul has gone into that record, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So again, genuinely I am leaving this time. Thank you very much guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.